guys, welcome back to the saga that is the Rat Rod Wagon build. On today's episode, we're going to be basically finishing it up. We're going to be doing a little bit of buttoning up, last minute fixes and things like that, trying to get this thing ready to go for a ride. Start with, we're going to be cutting some pieces off of this old generator frame here and using some of the square tubing I've got laying around to build a pedal apparatus so that we have something to mount our pedals to so that we can have a brake and a throttle pedal.
Looks pretty straight to me.
Yep, that ought to work. I just had to cut the other end off.
I am ready. I am ready, brother.
Hang on.
This is real good.
Yeah, that might hold for about 10-15 seconds.
Oh yeah?
We hope. We can hope. We'll probably have to let it cool off, grind it, and then add a couple more little beads to it just to make sure, because we are going to be putting our feet on this to, so it's going to be our leg strength against this those welds there. So we got to make sure that they're not too loose, but not bad, baby brother. Not bad, Mr. Scarface. Yeah. My little brother decided it was a good idea to stab himself in the forehead with a razor blade earlier this week. Yep. Good job. Proud of you. All right, ready for other side here now. We're just gonna maybe you should put it on the other end there.
Yeah, probably not a bad idea.
Yeah. And then you just gonna knock it off because that makes sense. It's right here.
And now it's at an angle. Talking about the angle and the dangle. Put your hand right here.
No, what you're gonna have to do,
No,
turn the clamp the other way. There, see? That works. And you gotta figure out. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
There's that.
Oh, well, look at there. We found the other pedal. That's good. We're gonna mock this up. Our new
Bam.
pedal apparatus. Yeah, I think that might almost
Just
just
backwards.
work. It doesn't matter which side. There should be the same. Should be the same either way.
Ooh, it hit my toe.
Yeah, that'll happen.
I was never taught how to not do things as a child. We never got those lessons as children. Pain was our teacher.
He's not wrong.
This generation wouldn't understand. Wait, that was the good one, wasn't it?
Might have been. What does it matter? Just need to.
Yeah, that was the one that already looked alright.
Yeah, but you still need to add a little bit to both of them anyway.
That started to look a little bit better, ain't it?
Yeah.
Holy shit, I might be talented at something. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, you might want to dip it though. It's getting a little hot.
About to.
All right, we're gonna mock this up. Our new
Bam.
pedal apparatus. Yeah, I think that might almost
Just
just
backwards.
work. It doesn't matter which side. There should be the same. Okay, so here is the new pedal apparatus that I have constructed for this mighty machine. Now all I got to do is get it welded in and get the support piece installed here that I'm going to make out of this piece of rod here to hold these springs in place here so that the pedals can be spring loaded, return, make life easier for everybody involved with riding this thing. Okay, so as you can see, I've got the pedal apparatus clamped in temporarily so that I can attempt to weld it in place. And I'm going to do something that I probably should not be doing, which is crawling underneath this thing and trying to weld it. But we're gonna see how well this goes. Okay, here we go. Moment of truth here. All right, so looks like I've got the pedals installed. I got both pedals moving and doing the things. Now all I gotta do is attach the throttle cable on this side, and like I said before, absolute last thing I'm gonna be doing is the brakes. But how I've decided to do the brakes on this one is I've decided to use hard linkage for my brakes instead of a cable or anything like that, just because, well, hard linkage is always better for mechanical brakes like this. It just is. It'll work out a lot better. It'll stop faster. It'll really lock it up, lock up the rear wheels, and we'll get it knocked out.
Did you break things?
No, I think I just went a little sideways at the end.
That sounds like you.
It's not.
Okay, so now we're going to work on welding in some extra support braces here. I'm going to put 2 of them here on the back of this go-kart frame here. And the boy here is going to do the welding for us. Let's see how he does. Go ahead. Stop it. That might be getting there. Let's see. Well, it didn't fall off, so we must have attached it at least a little bit. Just get this bottom half done here. Well, the bottom half might be welded to concrete now, so
Oh no.
it'll be fine. All right, now the boy thinks he wants to do this whole rest of this one by himself. This whole support he wants to do himself because he thinks he's good now. So check it out. Go ahead, bud. Okay, so final result on the boys welding. Not the best in the world, but strong enough, and it's definitely going to hold. I have beat the snot out of it to make sure. And yet again, all I have is a cheap flux core welder. This is not a professional shop. But now that we've got this done, we can move on to the skid plate. Okay guys, so now what we're doing is we are attempting to install a skid plate on the front of this thing just to protect my steering here so that anything I happen to run into doesn't immediately come into contact with my steering shaft and send it flying towards my face. So, because as you all already know, I do not have a paved track or road that I can actually ride this on, so it's going to be off-road. So there is a distinct possibility that I will run into something with the front end of this and hopefully now that I have this installed, it will not kill me. We can only hope. As you can clearly see, it is now attached. Now, I did have to split one side of it and weld it back together just to get it to kind of force fit it in there, because of course the front of this thing is not 120% square. This is not a professional fabrication shop. This is a carport. So, cut me some slack. But I think that it looks pretty darn good where it is. And yes, I do intend to leave that lip up there like that, because I'm probably going to use that as a attachment, because I'm seriously considering building a grill for the front of this, just to make it look extra cool. But that's going to be something for a later video. It's not going to be in this one. That'll be cosmetic upgrades, and probably also in the next video I'm going to try to do a little bit of work on the steering. I'm going to try to drill holes in these spindles here and give me a little bit better steering angle, because turning radius on this is not what you would call the best. So I'm going to try to help that out just a little bit. Since we've got our brakes mocked up at this point, now we're going to take and measure where we need to bend this other end here, and get that going so that we can get started on our brake linkage. Alright guys, so it looks like we've got our brakes completely mocked up. We've got our linkage installed on the pedal here, so we're actually able to try that out. Now I'm gonna weld this sleeve here to the frame to, you know, kind of be a guide for the hard linkage here to keep the brakes going. And then I've got to weld that bolt in solid for, or actually I'm probably gonna have to get a different bolt for that to hold the brake band in place there. But yeah, so far we're real close to having brakes. Alright, so looks like we got the brakes just about knocked out. As you can see, they function. Hopefully they actually stop the go-kart. I mean, you know, we'll see how that goes, I guess. That's why my baby brother's probably going to do the first test drive on this. Alright, so now I bent that rod and cut it just perfect. And now our pedals are spring-loaded on both sides. As you can see. And that will allow for better stability on the riding. But as you can see, I took it and put it all the way through on both sides. I just got to weld it in place, and we will be set on the pedals. So we're back, and we're about to take this thing for the first test drive. Check this out.
You got a lot of weight on that go-kart.
Alright guys, as you saw, it drove. That thing drove. That pile of scrap metal that I welded together with a cheap Harbor Freight welder just drove around the yard and did it at a decent speed, even though it was cutting up at higher RPMs. I'm going to have to work on that. I think it's something to do with the ignition coil, but I'll worry about that later. But that's probably going to do it today for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.